I am Xander Mobus, and I play Governor Salvo. What brought me to the project was a buddy of mine. He sent me one of the scenes that was currently up on YouTube, and it had a really unique look to it. The animation seemed pretty good, and it had a lot of really good voice work behind it. So when auditions went up on the VAC for, I guess, the second round of characters, I jumped on that. There were a couple of characters in there. Salvo was one of them, who I really loved the designs. I was like, I want to get one of these guys. And I was lucky enough to snag one. What is my background? Where am I from? Background acting-wise, I just kind of dived right into voiceover. Haven't gone back since. It was a little over 3 years ago now, and yeah, it's been a good experience there. Where am I from, as in location-wise? I am from the greater Seattle area in the fine state of Washington, and the only thing that distinguishes us is we have lots of rain, everything is uphill, and I believe Jimi Hendrix was born here. What inspires me? Well, the thing that got me into voiceover, in particular, was, actually a anime series called Trigun. It was the first series where I really, took an interest in, hey, there are people doing those voices, and they get paid money to do that, and whoa, there's, this whole world of voice acting, and what? Mind blown. From there, just kind of I've done funny voices my whole life, you know. I mean, when Shrek came out, I was doing obnoxious Scottish accents for weeks, and you know, I mean, so it was just kind of like, hey, maybe I could try that, and I tried it, I liked it, and never gone back. It's been smooth sailing from there. A lot of voice actors are what you could call inspiration. I guess I steal a lot from them. I love their work. I use that as a basis for my own, and I hope to be there one day, so I guess that's a sort of inspiration. But it looks like there's a question for that later on, so I will save that for then. One thing about me is I don't actually have emotions, so moments that made me laugh or cry, not really, but I mean, you kind of need to, slaughter a puppy on screen to get me to cry, so that's just how it goes. But affected, I really liked, the scene that actually introduced me to the series was one my buddy sent to me. It was, it had Shock Dingo and Laura Post, and Shock Dingo was playing this, priest with these really red robes, I remember, and he was cutting Laura Post's leg off. Spoiler, maybe? Not sure. And I really liked it. And I think that was really what affected me most. I remember going, damn, dude, he just, cut the leg. Ow! Ow! And I thought Shock Dingo was such a, I thought his character was such an asshole, and I wanted to punch him in the face, so that's certainly effective, and, you know, props to Shock and Laura for that scene. Very, very good work. What character do I identify with the most? Oh boy. Okay, this question's always kind of awkward for me to answer, because, I don't really tend to identify a lot with my characters. I don't tend to go, yes! Him and I, man, we get each other. We got this understanding, you know? And that's kind of the beautiful part about character work, is you can just kind of put on these characters without necessarily having anything to do with each other. So, do I identify with a lot of the characters in this? Not really. I don't think there were any characters that were really like me or really had anything I could go, yeah, I get that. Yeah, that touches me here, man. And you can't see it, but I'm totally pointing at my heart. But I did like Salvo, and since I had to play the guy, I obviously had to get inside his head a little bit, so I'm gonna go with that. It's kind of a cheat, but I'm gonna go with that. Who do I admire in this project? Well, voice-wise, I've already mentioned Shaq Dango and Laura Post. Both of them are wonderful, wonderful actors. And I'd seen a lot of their stuff before this, and I was very glad I got the opportunity to work with them. You know, obviously that scene they did was what got me to go for it, so definitely them. Guess I should mention my buddy Dark Wolf, who actually got me into the project. He sent me the link. He sent me the original the scene. He said, "Hey, you should go for this guy, this guy, this guy." I was like, "All right, shoot, why not?" And so yeah, definitely putting him on there. He does very good work. Yeah, he does very good. He does the good works, you know. Natalie Van Sistine. Yes, she does very good work as well. She's another buddy of mine. She's very talented, and yeah. I hadn't heard of him when this came out, but Scott Stoked. I've seen him in a lot since, and so it was cool to get to work with him. So, yes. What do I like most about the character I play? You know, this is gonna sound absolutely ridiculous, but his chin. I love his chin. I saw his chin, and I was like, I need to play that chin. And thus, I auditioned for his chin, and I got his chin, and yeah, history was written. If Salvo had a favorite place to visit, where would it be and why? I am going to go with Disneyland, Disney's Magic Kingdom, because it is the happiest place on Earth, and if you don't want to go to the happiest place on Earth, then you are a dick. What voice actors or actor inspires your work? Oh man, is the list long. Oh boy, people that come to mind. Just off the top of my head, David Kaye, Darren Norris, Kevin Michael Richardson, Troy Baker, Steve Bloom, John DiMaggio, Rob Paulson, Jess Harnell, Bollocks, James Arnold Taylor, Corey Burton, Jeff Bennett, Mark Hamill, Charlie Adler. God, the list just... Tara Strong, Grey DeLisle. Yeah, no, the list goes on forever. And it will continue to grow the more and more I get immersed into the voiceover world, which hopefully will be a lot more, because, yeah, I'd like to make a living off doing this. Woo! And, I guess I should give specific mention to a couple of folks, one of whom is Skip Stelrich, who, odds are you probably haven't heard of him, but you have definitely heard something he's been in if you're an anime fan. He was Vicious from Cowboy Bebop. He was the original Itachi from Naruto. He was Gaomon from Digimon Data Squad. And he was Might Guy from Naruto. And specifically his Gaomon, which is basically his Might Guy as well, but I think it's a bit more chill, is basically where I got Salvo from. Because, you know, as Might Guy, he's very flamboyant, very big. You know, he says Kakashi, because you just can't say Kakashi. You have to say Kakashi. And then you take that and you make it a little bit more chill and a bit more dramatic, and all of a sudden it becomes Gaomon. And then you tone it back just a little bit, and all of a sudden you have Governor Salvo, who has this wonderful way of enunciating every single line. There's a little bit of Zap Brannigan in there too, so I should mention Billy West. A little bit of Zap Brannigan. But, mainly Skip Stelrich, so, yeah. Thank you, Skip. Thank you for being awesome.
Being that Eve of October is an anime project, you must have been an anime fan to some degree. Do you have a favorite anime?
I do have a favorite anime. And said favorite anime is called Berserk. It's possible you've not heard of it. If you have heard of it, odds are you know it's kind of a messed up series. Lots of blood, lots of violence, lots of things I probably cannot mention here. And you know what? Despite all that, it manages to somehow pull it off in good taste most of the time. And it's still a very thought-provoking story, which has lots of depth, good characters, and yeah, it's hard to justify, but you know, if you watch it, you should get the same experience I should. And I've never met a single person who's watched it who hasn't said, yeah, I can see why you like this. Beyond that, I tend to say that I am an animation fan, not an anime fan, simply because it's kind of all the same to me. That's not to say there aren't different classifications of it, but I think the animation itself as a medium has a insane amount of potential and creativity and imagination that no other medium has. And I think it's a shame that it's kind of getting boxed into, you know, you got the cartoons, which are generally for little kids, and, you know, if you're an adult and enjoy them, then you're just weird and you're wasting your life and blah, 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 blah. And, you know, the anime fans, they get some of that too, but the anime fans generally tend to have the justification of, well, it's more mature storytelling being told from the perspective of adults to adults. But either way, animation as a whole, I feel gets robbed of a lot of credibility simply because of preconceived notions, and I think that's a major shame. But I'm just a fan of the whole package, and I mean, I could name off cartoons, anime, you know, whatever that I'm a big fan of. So, yes. What has proven to be one of your favorite projects from the past? Well, I've been involved in a lot of stuff, and a lot of it I really doubt would be something I'd want to plug here, but I got a couple of them. Recently, well, not so recently, but recently the first episode came out, so I can talk about it. There is, I should say, a Flash called Wonders of the Universe, which is being done by the wonderful people of Toonworks over at Newgrounds, and we just got the first episode out. The first short just came out as well, and second episode's on the way. It's very funny stuff. It's got some really funny stuff coming. Keep an eye on that, because that is going to be very, very funny. I'm also involved in a YouTube project called Monster Boy, being done by a very talented artist, and it's animatics right now. I think we might maybe be doing one animation. I'm not totally sure, but it's definitely something to check out. There's a lot of very, very talented people involved in that. And yeah, so definitely check that out. And last but not least, I am involved in a radio drama called The Elysium Project, which is being run by the fellow cast member of this project, Natalie Van Sistine. And it's a very creative project. She's been writing it for about a year or so now, maybe more. I don't know exactly. But I've been involved with that production from nearly day one, so obviously I put a lot of time into it, and it needs more attention than it's getting, because it's a good, solid project. So go check that out. It's on our YouTube. Yeah. Aside from the voice actings, have you ever worked in the theater? Oh boy, is this a loaded question? Yes and no. Yes, I have auditioned for theater, I've been cast in theater, I have gone to rehearsals for theater, I have even built sets for theater, but no, I have never performed in a theater, because something inevitably goes wrong. In one situation, the play got called off. In another situation, I was sick for about 3 weeks and had to drop. In another, the people running it forgot to inform me I was cast. So, yeah, that didn't go well. Essentially, I've just had terrible luck with theater. That's not to say I'm not interested in doing it. I would just need to find one where stuff doesn't suck. But yeah, apart from that, I've never taken any acting classes, anything like that, so voiceover's pretty much my big acting pursuit. Hooray. So, thanks once again for watching, and see you later, Space Cowboys.